Hi girls, Mr. Brent here, just to give you an update on how this week's class is going to go. I hope that you all enjoyed the Zoom class last week. It was nice to see everybody's face and to give a simple class. So what I'm going to do for this week is we're just going to basically go through some exercises that I'm just going to hodgepodge together from previous classes that I posted, because there's a lot of material on there and I think it's worthwhile to go back in there and redo it, or do it perhaps for the first time, because some of you had mentioned that you hadn't really done the YouTube videos up to this point. So I figure I don't want to go to the studio and film another hour and a half of a really full class if you guys haven't experienced what I've given already. So so this is just the introduction to say, hey, I hope you guys are doing well, and enjoy this kind of ramshackle put together class. I'll be wearing a lot of different shirts, and continue to keep up with your terminology, and hopefully I can give this YouTube class that I'm going to ramshackle together, or some variation of it, in our Zoom meeting next week. So here we go. We start as we always do, and enjoy. Here we go. Let's start with the usual, the tendu flex, plie, tendu close, front, side, back, in, out, with the port de bras and everything. We've done it every single week. So here we go. Start in first position. Nice and tall. Resist the going down. Nice. Last one. And hold. Feel the scapulae already. Open. Okay. Finish. Lovely. If you need to take any more port de bras or additional stretches on top of that, you can. And we're going to do one more exercise facing the bar just to get you warmed up. And then we'll move on to the rest of the bar. So the next combination that we're going to do is just to kind of warm up the feet a little more and to stretch everything out. We're going to start in a parallel position, and we're going to take 8 roll-throughs alternating. Then we're going to cross the leg over and plie the supporting leg just to really stretch the arch out. Then we're going to bring it back to a calf stretch. And if you need to bend the back knee, bend the back knee like so to stretch the soleus, which is that muscle right in here, where when we get shin splints, that's really where shin splints affect. And so we'll stretch that out, and also the Achilles. And then we'll just bring it back and do a flat back. Use your bar or your chair, or whatever you need to help support you. And then roll it up, and then back. And then we'll repeat the whole thing. And then we'll just take, in a parallel position, forward, back, side, and forward, back, side. Nice and loose, nice and easy, just to help get you warmed up, really stretch everything out. Think of this almost kind of like yoga. Really breathe, really relax into the muscles, but still work efficiently. Here we go. Start in a parallel position. Same music. Feel a nice stretch in your pectoralis. And we'll take the lax port de bras without music. So just a parallel position, wide forth, and bring it forward. Make sure you're not opening the back hip, that they're square. And just stay, relax, roll it up, sweep the arm down, and roll through every part of the spine. Come up, bring the feet together in parallel, reach out to the bar, feel the obliques, the lateral stretch, the hip pulling away from the bar, and other side. Nice, beautiful, wide forward position, parallel. Whew, my right hamstring is very tight today, so this feels good. Hopefully it feels good for you too. If you need a plie, flex, whatever you want to do here, this is all very individual. Bring it up, sweep the arm down, and back, feet together, to the bar. And we'll finish facing the bar in parallel. Good. If you need to take anything else on top of that, do so. I'm going to go ahead and move the bar, and we'll move on to pliés. All right, so for plie, we're just going to take a very standard 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 demi-plie, 1 grand plie in every position, first, second, fourth, and fifth. In first, we're going to port de bras forward. In second, we're going to port de bras to the bar. In fourth, we're going to port de bras away from the bar. And in fifth, we're going to port de bras back. And after we conclude the port de bras back, we're just going to hold in fifth position, reaching on the diagonal arm. So if I was in a la seconde, I would take my outside arm up to the high diagonal, and my inside arm to the bar to the low diagonal. And that's where we'll finish. Remember, when you port de bras forward, you bring the bar arm forward so as not to tip the hips back. And you really look out and reach over the outside hand to the bar, drop the nose, same thing away from the bar, drop the nose, because this is just a different stretch and kind of looks weird in ballet. And then remember, in fifth position, when we do the port de bras back, up to go back, and it's just a tilt. It's like if you were bringing, if you had a bowl and you wanted to, and it was filled with water, and you wanted to just tilt it a little bit, that's the same action, and you have to bring it from the front up so that it can cambre. So same thing here. From the front, we go up, and the nose leads, keeps going, and then we just turn the head, and that's the port de bras back. So here we go. I'm going to do it one side, and of course, you'll go back and you'll repeat and do the other side. Here we go. Nice and slow. To the front. Hips even. Turn out the back knee, heels down, and reach. Allongé. Feel the calves pressing against each other. Allongé, on diagonal. Your gaze is infinite. Lovely. You will take the left side of that, and just remember to really keep it moving, keep it flowing. Nice juicy pliés, and really help get the hips and everything else in the body warmed up. Great job. All right, guys, so we're going to take a tendu and a dégagé in the same combination. So starting from 5th position, we'll start 5 and a 6 and a 7 and 8, and we worked on this in class, so don't be surprised. It's a tendu to the front and a flex. Now, fullest flex as much as you can, really straightening the knees, solid leg, lot of resistance, and as you go around in the rond de jambe, I know it's difficult, feel the turnout, make sure you get to about this corner, and then you can let it drop without the hip opening, so the hip stays front, and the flex really allows you to feel the turnout, and then articulate through as you tendu to the back and close in 5th. Then you're going to take 3 tendus to the side, not too fast, 1, 2, 3, plié on 4, and you're going to immediately go to a relevé coupé balance, coupé in the front, test your balance off of the bar or chair or wall or whatever you got, and then close behind in sous-sus and plié. Now when you're in that coupé position, there's a difference between coupé and coup de pied. So coup de pied is the neck of the foot, coupé is to cut, it's an action. So you cut at the front of the leg, the heel is forward, so I don't want to see this. This is not a good line. It's a very pretty biscuit sickle, and we don't want that. Push the heel forward and the knee back without compromising the hip, so as much as you can. And that's the position that you're going to balance it. And then you just close behind and repeat to the back. So you tendu and flex all the way around, 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 around. Bring the heel forward right away. Heel forward, heel forward, heel forward. Let me see the calf. And tendu to close. 3 tendus to the side. You have a count to specifically for the plie, and then you bring it directly to the front again, heel forward, and then sous-sus. And then we're going to repeat the whole thing once again, slightly different. Now we start with the dégagé. So dégagé to the front, off the floor, so there should be even more resistance, and then flex the toes back all the way around. And then we're not going to tendu, we're going to just extend in the air, in the air, in the air, and then close. And then we're going to take 5 dégagés to the side a little bit quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plie, and now instead of a coupé, we're going to take a passé balance. Right away up to passé, find that position, and close behind in sous-sus, and plie, and then we'll reverse it. So let's try it with music. Really use the plie to press into the floor for those balances, find the turnout, and find the fullest point in every single position that you do. Here we go, 5th position. Show the beautiful hip on to start, and tendu, and flex all the way around. Tendu, and close 3 tendus. Okay, and up, and go, and close behind. Reverse. Heel forward right away. Articulate through, and 3 tendus. 1, 2, 3. Okay, bring it to the front right away. Let go. Once again with dégagé. Out. All the way around. Heel forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plie. Passé. Let go. Behind. Really push the music as much as you can. Hold that balance. And through. Fit, 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 fit. Plie. Passé. And stay, and stay, and stay. Find the balance. Use the supporting side, pressing into the floor. Feel the hip flexor lengthen. And bring the arms up. Highest relevé that you can. And down to sous-sus. Press into the floor. Feel the squeezing of the legs. Hold it, use the core. Open to the side. And beautiful élargé. And finish as you began with a beautiful épalement showing the neck. And good. So we're going to take one that we know. The sequence is very simple. It's 8-8-4-4-2-2-1-1-1-1, and just facing your bar, or whatever you're using for the bar. And again, I want to make sure that you reach the fullest point and find the first without compromising the hips too much. So you're not going out, out, out. You're going to lose a lot of precious time. So we take it once regularly using the bar, pressing down, not gripping onto the bar, and then once with the arms up. Now when the arms come up, I don't want to see, you think you're going to be able to do dégagés fast in that position? No. I also don't want to see shoulders up. It's not Halloween. Not yet. I know Friday the 13th just happened, but no, we don't want to see any scary shoulders. Press the shoulders down, press the energy through the floor and out with each dégagé. So we'll take once with the bar, 8, 8, 4, 4, 2, 2, 1, 1, and then we'll repeat it once again, with the, starting with the right side, with the arms off of the bar. I'm just going to do it on the right side. Feel free, I know we've done a lot of dégagés, but feel free to do the left side as well, if you are so inclined. Here we go. It's not too fast. Go for it. You're not required to, but I would encourage you to do so. Good job. All right, rond de jambe. Remember I talked about it in the live class, that rond de jambe means circle of the leg. These are your jambs, and they're going to go rond in a circle. I'm very silly today, so I apologize in advance. But I hope that you're smiling and having a good time while you're doing these classes. You're not like, oh, I hate ballet. The goal is to have fun and to just let loose a little bit. So we're going to start with our lovely Revlon that we all love, and don't eye roll whenever we encounter them during class. So 5, 6, 7 arms going to go up. Plie the supporting leg to brush it out, and then to the passe to fifth. And we've been working on these, so hopefully you guys know from here you lift the knee up even higher through the attitude, turn out into the passe, and then roll, draw it down the leg into the position. Same thing to the back, you have to shift forward a little bit. If that means your bar or your chair, you have to bring the supporting hand forward a little bit, go for it. And you really use that plie, nice deep plie, and then straighten up as you go into that attitude. See how I straighten up to lift? That will really help. Same thing to the side and up. And then again, lift it up a little bit so you can tendu to the back. Now, note the difference between lifting it up so I can bring it behind and lifting it up with the hip to bring it behind. It's important that you don't lift it up too much. So really just a little bit, almost like you're going to go back into attitude, because that's really what you're going through, and then to the tendu. Then we're going to take 2 slow tendus à terre, which terre in pretty much every language on earth means earth, no pun intended. And so it's on the floor, and 1 on layer. It can be 25 degrees, 45 degrees. I really wouldn't do any higher than 90 because we haven't done a lot of really deep leg stuff yet. But if you feel so inclined, go for it. And then after the on layer, we'll close behind, plie, and then we'll reverse the whole thing. So Revlon, Revlon, Revlon. Tendu front this time. Again, lifting it up. Really think of that heel initiating. And then 2 slow à terre. 1 slow on layer, and then plie. And then, if you have room and space and you feel inclined, we'll take a lunge down and up, port de bras back. From this port de bras back position, inhale. It's like you're gasping for air because you're so shocked at how beautiful this arabesque line is going to be. Up to arabesque, keep going, reach forward to achieve this penché. Don't go straight down. This is what happens when you go straight down. My leg didn't go anywhere. If you reach forward, the leg will naturally lift, and you don't have to go all the way down. And really make sure you're breathing in that. And then from here, your deepest penché, keep the leg where it is. Again, inhale to bring yourself up. Rise up if you feel like you can. If not, stay flat and just press down in the arms. Feel the growth in the upper body. And then close to susu, lift to the outside passe, and balance. And then if you want to take that to a attitude front or to an attitude back, or to an attitude side if you're feeling crazy and kind of weird, go for it. Very personal, whatever you want to do. So, reveillon, 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 tendu. 2 slow à terre, 1 slow en l'air, plie. Reverse, and we'll take our stretches. Here we go. Too slow. Same energy on l'air. Plie. Reverse. Hit that 90 degree. Then bring it up. Use your plie. Lift it up to place. Reverse. Inside leg. Use the muscles to bring you up to go back. No weight on the back toe. Inhale to arabesque. Reach forward. Make sure the hips are not opening. Keep the leg where it is. Raise it up. Press down and rise up. Bring it to Susu. See if you can do it without bar. Port de bras, draw the leg up, whoa, find the balance, nice save, maybe, if you need to use the bar, use it, it's your friend, arms up, and roll down. I'm really arching back today, and finish. Good. So if you encounter what I just encountered where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going so far back, use the arms, the port de bras. A correction that I needed that I didn't apply. Use the arms to help propel you forward and really engage the abdominals to help stabilize you. Because I guarantee you, as soon as you let go of the abs, our tendency, whether we're in the studio or on stage, is always to go whenever we start to balance. Because we're thinking up, but when we think up, we think back. Because we're really bad at just going where we're supposed to be going. We always want to go back and take our weight back. So you have to actually think a little bit forward so that you can stay. So even there, even though I was kind of not really doing it and flexing my foot, I had more stability. Take the left side of that, and if you need to do any additional stretching on top of this, after you finish the left side, go for it. You can take your splits, your straddles, something on the bar or the chair as long as you're safe. And let's move on to a fondue. So we've been working on fondue a lot the last couple of weeks, and today I want to give you a nice, slow, juicy fondue to really help instill the practices that we've been talking about. So we're going to take very simply 5, 6, 7, 8 fondue, again leading with the working leg, not the supporting leg, so that they arrive at the same time on 2. And then we will plie in attitude and straighten. So there's 2 real main fondues here. Fondue here, to extend, and then fondue here, both knees turn out, turn out, turn out, and straighten at the same time. Same thing to the side, fondue to the side, attitude. Now make sure with this attitude and plie that you're not going, we are not dogs. There are no fire hydrants present. You're not allowed outside, so, well you are allowed outside, but you're not going to be near any fire hydrants anytime soon, so don't be doing this position. Turn out. Almost tuck it under without letting the hip go, because that'll really activate just underneath the glutes. And then plie and then straight, and then to the back, plie and straight. Then we're going to take a grand rond de jambe, brush through first, plie, start low because I don't want to see, man, I am so good at grand rond de jambe. You don't want to start at the apex, you want to finish at the apex. So you want to start lower, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Arabesque is the highest point, and then fondue close back. We'll reverse the whole thing. Fondue back, attitude straighten, fondue side, attitude straighten, fondue front, attitude straighten. Grand rond de jambe all the way around, and finish. If you want to take this on releve, feel free. I'm not going to because I have to teach and talk and do all this stuff at the same time. I'm not trying to tire myself out too much. But you are welcome to if you wish. Here we go, fondue. Remember to melt. Deepest plie. And it's not about the height, it's about the depth of the plie. Low to start, and as you plie and straighten, bring it around. Reverse. Lovely. Take the left side of that, shake everything out if it's really tense, and really just try and relax and breathe through it. Whatever you do, make sure you breathe. I don't want to see, no. Too much tension, not going to benefit you in any way. Relax, breathe, and go through it, and you'll be fine. So by now, you should have gone through most of the bar. I'm adding a frappe combination, which I know we don't usually do frappe in class, just because we're usually short on time. So what does frappe mean? You're right, it means to strike. Just like when you have your frappuccino at Starbucks, or maybe something not quite as basic as Starbucks. That was not a knock against Starbucks. Starbucks is fine, I just like different kinds of coffee. But if you get like a frappuccino, it really, you drink it and it's like, whoa, I really feel like a jolt of energy. So frappe in French means to strike. So you're really striking the floor. Now we're going to go through the 4 different ways in which we can do a frappe, because there's many different systems of ballet, as we've talked about. And you have the Giacchetti system, which is Italian. And the reason why it's named Giacchetti is because it's after this guy named Giacchetti. He, of course, was Italian, and he developed all these different ways in which we have ballet technique. So the normal system of port de bras that we use is the Giacchetti system. Now, the other systems of dance really, not systems of dance, the other nationalities really kind of expanded upon that, or took what they wanted and made it their own. Like the Russians call this big pose, which is very literal, but we don't call it big pose. But if you went to a Russian school, that would be that. We have the Giacchetti system, so that's Italian. We have the Russian system, which of course originates in Russia. We have the French system, which of course originates in France. And I don't know who actually like formulated those, but again, you can take the time to research that if you wish. And then we have the Danish system, which was really presented and put forth by August Bournonville. And Bournonville and the Royal Danish Ballet, they really they have amazing footwork, amazing jumps, petit allegro, ballets that really feature that type of choreography and that type of style and technique is Capelia, for example, or Napoli. So if you want to look those up, those are kind of ideas of the Bournonville style. But for frappe today, we're going to do all 4 of those different methods, because they all have different ways of doing frappe. So we're going to start 5 and a 6, preparing as we always do, 7, and tendu side 8. Now we're going to start with the Danish, because it's the one that we traditionally know to do, and you are flexed. Now, remember we've talked about petit pas mas or the coup de pied, which is small beats at the neck of the foot. That's the coup de pied, neck of the foot. So the flex is going to go to the neck of the foot, which is like just above that bone on your ankle, that like little knob thing that sticks out to the side a little bit. You go up just a little bit, and it's kind of the skinnier part of your ankle, not quite the calf, that's too high, and not quite below the knob, because that's too low, that's almost on the ground. It's just that nice place in between. So we're going to start in the flex position. Our arm will be to the side, and we're going to take 1 frappe slow to the front, brush the floor with the ball of the foot, and then you strike, and as you strike, it comes off the floor and you hit your fullest point. So this is the frappe, 1, and then you bring it back to the flex position. As you bring it back, you flex it, and the knee comes back. So I shouldn't see, that's not right. Knee back each time. Pulling up on the supporting leg, hip flexor extending. So we'll do 1 slow and 2 quick in each position. So side, 2 quick, back, 2 quick, side, 2 quick. Good. Now, that's the Danish. Then we'll move on to the French. With the French, they point their foot. So it's like if we were in a coupe front, that's the French. So as you point it, this one can be a little trickier. You have to keep it pointed, but don't hit your toe like that, because that's, number one, not going to feel good, and it's not correct. You have to flex just the toes as you go down to brush, again with the metatarsal, and then point again. And then you bring it back still pointing. This one requires a little bit more articulation of the toes. Boom. And 1, 2. And we'll take that front side, back side, same sequence, 1 slow, 2 quick. Then we'll take the Russian. So the Russian is wrapped. This one is trickier and may not quite be in your turnout wheelhouse yet, but just do the best you can. So I'll turn to the side so you can see it. The heel is forward at the neck of the foot, so it's like if you flex in the Danish. And then you actually curl and you wrap the toes around, so it wraps literally around the neck of the foot. So again, if you need help to get to this position, start in the flex position, think about winging the foot and wrap it around to the back. So then we'll take the same sequence, 1 slow, 2 quick en croix, in that wrapped position, and to the back, because I know you think, well, you can't wrap it when you're in the back. It's the same thing, you're winging the foot, and you just move it behind. So it's not wrapped, the heel is touching, and the toes are curling away. Whereas in the French, it's here. It's not quite as winged. Okay? And then the last one that we're going to do, which nobody really does, which is interesting because we use most of the Giacchetti system for everything else, but for frappe we're like, no, that's too weird. And it is kind of weird. The last one is the Italian or the Giacchetti system, and it's actually, it starts here. It's almost like you're in a, I'm posing for a ballet position. So you're pressing the arch into the floor. It's not in first position, it's really in third position, which is in between first and fifth. It's where the strap of your ballet shoe is. And you actually drag it on the floor. 1, and in, and in. It's a weird one, so try it out as we do it. So we take the Danish, which is flexed, we take the French, which is point, we take the Russian, which is wrapped, and we take the Giacchetti or the Italian system, which is this weird brushing thing on the floor. Let's try it with music. Oh, shoot. One more thing. So after we finish all of that, because it's pretty standard, we're going to take a flick-flack. Now I know you guys are like, a what? A wick-whack? What? It's a flick-flack, and I know, it's actually a ballet step. And it's really a 2 or 3 part step, depending on how you look at it. So we'll finish the last one, Italian, 1 slow, 2 quick. You'll place in fifth. You'll tendu out to the side and plie. You're going to pick the leg up, and you're going to brush and like flick the ball of the foot against the floor. So flick, that's the flick. And then as you do that, you're in plie, you're still in plie. You press up into releve, and then you flack. As you turn to face the back, you brush again, and that completes the turn, and you bring it to coupe. So it looks like this, flick, flack, and then you hold in the coupe position. Now we'll take 1 flick flack, and we'll hold it, and then we'll take a flick flack, because that's en dehors, we'll take it en dedans. So you plie to the side, you lift it up, and now you brush front, and as I start to turn, I pick it up in the back. So it's front, start to turn, toes are still pointed, everything's still pointed, and then you flack about here. And as you do that, that helps you get around, and it's in that beautiful coupe position to the back. And then from there, we will take tendu and up to susu, and then we'll plie, and we'll finish. I know it's a lot of information that I'm packing into this one combination, and most of this is probably new to you. But again, because we're doing the same class, I'm going to offer you kind of just some different stuff. So frappes and flick-flacks. Here we go with music. Left side of that. If flick-flack didn't quite go as you had hoped and it turned into more like a flip-flop, that's okay. Just keep trying it, keep practicing it. I know it's a new step. Just remember that you flick and then you flack. So whether you do en dehors or en dedans, it's either back and then front or front and then back. And really brush the floor, just like we brush the floor on the frappes, really brush the floor on that flick-flack to help get you around. Because what we would love to get to is that you do a double flick-flack, where you do a double turn. But for now, we'll just do a single. So remember, there's always more that we can get to from where we're at. So that's the new frappe combination. Take the left side of that. Rewatch the review video as much as you need. I'm sorry again about the slide at Starbucks. I didn't mean anything by it. I was just trying to be silly. So enjoy the frappes, and I'm going to give you a new stretch combination. Okay, so now we're going to take a stretch. So typically if I did a stretching class, we would put our leg on the bar, but I don't know how secure your bar is, so for today we're just going to do a heel and hand stretch. You can just follow along as I give it. It's going to be pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure that your hips are not going too out of whack as you do it, and don't overdo it. Just stretch however much you need to feel a stretch, but not too much. So follow along. Here we go. Still prepared. You can take it again if you need to. It's really just to get the body loose, stretch everything out. This one to the side is really, really beneficial for your all-to-calm position. And it's really good in keeping the hips locked down. We'll take the left side of that. And again, you can repeat if you need to, do whatever stretches you need. All right, so last real combination at the bar, and then we're gonna take one more little exercise. but we're going to take grand battement, which, if I ask you what grand battement means, do not tell me that it means large kick. That is not what it means. If you'll remember, battement means to beat. So it is a big beat, which doesn't really make sense because you are, in a sense, kicking your leg. But it's really the action of up. It's a beat. It's a beat of music. Up. And even like if you were doing a piqué, you're kind of beating the floor. It's the same in a grand battement. It goes through the tendu, up, and then back to that position. It's basically like a super large piqué, if you think about it. But we're going to take 2 grand battements after our preparation. We're going to prep right up to the 5th position. 2 grand battements front, through the tendu to close 5th. Then we're going to take a développé through passé and out. And then we're going to take an enveloppé, which is the reverse of a développé. So brush out, back to passé, and in. So remember, we took that enveloppé in the rond de jambe. This is the same action, just without a plie. So you really have to brush to get the momentum to be able to bring it in. Then we're just going to take 3 to the side, with the arm to the side, and plie. Not that fast. And then reverse. Arm in arabesque, 2 to the back. And again, you can lean forward just a little bit. If you stay here, you're going to have a really hard time getting the leg up, so you have to bring the arm forward and lean forward just a hair to help you get the leg up. So 2 to the back, développé, and then enveloppé, bring it into passé. And then once again, 3 to the side, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll plie, and we'll finish. That'll be all. Here we go. Arm directly up. So again, repeat it on the left side, and note that the accent is and out and in for the développé and the enveloppé. And again, don't kill the legs. This is for you, but make sure you're working as well. Let's take one more bar exercise, then we'll put the bar away. All right, so last thing at the bar that we're going to do before we do a little bit of center practice is, I know a lot of you guys have expressed that you want to work on your fouettes. Now, obviously, now is a really difficult time to work on fouettes because we're not in the studio. However, there's still ways to work on them without actually physically doing them and potentially getting hurt. So, we're going to take just an exercise at the bar with whatever you have to use to help support you to work on the action of when you actually do the fouette to be able to do it effectively. Now, I'm going to do it on the left side because I've been doing everything on the right side and I don't want to walk like this tomorrow. So I want to make sure that I get a little bit of balance. You're going to do both sides, obviously. And we're just going to take kind of over and over again. You can do as many as you'd like. I recommend doing at least 8 on each side. And honestly, you could do this every day after you warm up. If you do like a little plie, tendu, dégagé for yourself and stretch everything out, then you can pretty much do this no problem. But obviously right away, don't start with the leg being super high. You can take it 45, you can take it 90, whatever you need. But we'll take preparation, even though there's no music, you always want to prepare. And I need to prepare to speak. And we're going to take a plie to the front, and then open side, relevé, and then back front. Plie front, open side, beat back front. Now, the reason why I have you beat back front is because when you do the fouette, let's pray that I'll do this without messing up. Back front. Ah, that was very nice. That's the action, back front. If I had you just bring it to the front, you wouldn't feel the action of whoosh, whoosh, of the knee having to stay side as you beat the leg. So that's the reason for the back front. Now, obviously when you do fouettes in the center, you're not as clearly going back front each time. It is kind of one motion, but that's because you've developed the rhythm to be able to go and one, and one, and one. But for this exercise, front, side, back front. And really, it's to get on the supporting leg and feel the passe turning out. This is going to help with your pirouettes too, because you're going to find stability in the supporting leg to be able to get around. Something I talk about all the time. So once again, plie front, and the arm comes to the front as you plie. Turned out leg, make sure it's not turned in, turn out, because that'll help you turn out as you rise up to the side. And again, not here, your second position. To the side, back, front. Front, side, back, front. Front, side, back, front. I'm going to do one more. Front, side, back, front. Now, like I said, you can take it 8 times, both sides. You can do it more than that. If you're feeling kind of like you want to challenge, you can even take it to the back as well. Although this is a lot harder, and we obviously don't see people do en dedans fouettes, but still it's a good exercise to reverse. So you can plie behind, bring the heel forward. It's a lot of work, so you may want to take the leg lower, bring the heel forward as you rise, and then front, back, back, around, front, back. And again, that's totally optional. You can do that as much or as little as you like. I am completely out of breath from giving this bar, so I'm going to go stretch out for about 5-10 minutes, get some water. Alright, so next up we're going to take a center tendu, and I know how much you guys like body positions, and we've talked about it quite a bit. So we're just going to review them in this combination as we go through, and really just continue to have you guys be up to speed with them. So we're going to start in 5th position, facing the corner, and 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to open, actually we'll take 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll open on the 1 with the tendu to croisé devant, which means crossed in the front. And again, both hips, both shoulders should be seen from the front, so you're not too croisé. This is not croisé devant. This is croisé devant. Looking out over the à la seconde arm. And then we'll plie in 5th position. And then we'll switch to croisé derrière, cross behind. Looking underneath. Again, arm nice and solid to the side. And then as we plie, we're going to transfer to en face, facing the front. Arms in 2nd position. We're going to take another tendu front, à la 4e devant, so in 4th position to the front, and then plie in 5th, and then à la 4e derrière into 5th, and then we'll lift the left arm up as we transfer. Once again, the effacé position, effacé devant, looking at the diamonds once again on your wrist, plie, and then we just tilt slightly forward for that port bras to the back, and then once again plie, and we're going to open. And then from this 5th position, we're going to push down, the arms are going to rise up without seeing crazy shoulders going up. Press down, find the passe balance, and don't fall like I just did. So press down, close behind in susu, and plie. And again, you're limited in your space probably, but there's still a lot that we can work on, a lot we can do. So really use the pressing of the floor to get to that passe position, and then beautifully slide it down into that susu before you plie. That's the work that we're trying to get to. And then we'll repeat left side. So croisé, plie, switch, à la 4e, devant derrière, effacé, devant derrière, open the arm as you finish the last one, up to passe, and then that wasn't super great. Slide it down, that's a little better, and then plie. And then we'll take just that, and then if you want to challenge yourself, and again, if you have the capability to do so, I would encourage you to repeat it once again with dégagés, holding the position, and still with the plie, all the positions. And then here, if you can, if you have a good floor and you're able to, try a single pirouette. If not, just take the passe again, just as valid, okay? I'm just going to do the tendus with the passe balance. Hopefully I don't fall over. Hopefully I'll implement everything that I've been talking about. And by now, after doing that full bar, your glutes and your hip flexors and everything should be activated and ready to press into the floor so that you're able to achieve that passe balance, no problem. Here we go. Work in the body positions. Put on one. And change. A la quatrième. Open the arm. Good. And be gentle with yourself. I mean, hey, it's not going to be perfect. Remember, practice makes not perfect, but progress. We're always pushing ourselves to that next step, but not condemning ourselves if we don't get it perfectly. Because, hey, we're human beings. We make mistakes, and we learn from them. I've told you guys all the time, it's better to try and fail than to not try at all, because then you're not doing anything. So, good work. Hopefully you repeat that with the dégagés and the single pirouette. Again, just be careful, and let's move on to probably 1 or 2 more combinations. That'll be all. All right, we're going to take a very simple adagio. It's going to start, once again, facing the downstage left corner, right leg in front. 6, 7, 8, you're going to start with a grand plie in 5th position, the bane of every auditioning dancer's existence, because this will get you cut. If you're at an audition and you go, that's it. Again, this really epitomizes the resistance that we've been talking about. You really have to, as I mentioned at the bar, feel the calves pressing against each other in that 5th position, so you have some form of stability. And as you're going down, you're lifting up. So I'm not just, boom, I'm dropping down and everything is going. Really resist as you go down. Place the heels down as soon as possible. That's why we say it at the bar, not only because it's bad for the body to go, but because this way you get stability right away. So you take grand plie, 1, 2, 3, 4. Please forgive me for marking, I'll do it for real when we do it. And then port de bras forward. Again, you have to make sure that the body weight is forward. See how I already start tilting forward a little bit? Because if I go down like so, it may feel really nice. Ah, yes, sticking my behind out. But it's not balletically correct. So grand plie, 1, 2, 3, 4, stretch forward, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to take a cloche front and cloche back, and then plie, arms ring first. Beautiful grand rond de jambe around. Again, the leg starts low, gets higher as you go around to arabesque. Bring it to the élongé, plie, pas de bourrée to face en face. 4 counts to développé à la seconde. 1 single, rond de jambe en l'air. 1 double, and then from that position lift it higher, and then bring it into passe, into a lunge facing the other corner, and you're just going to take a circular port de bras all the way around. So from this lunge, my right hand is up, I drop it to the front, I switch, left arm goes overhead, all the way around, I switch back, and then I bring it through the front to the arabesque position. My arms go out to the à la seconde élongé. Beautiful piqué sous forward, and plie. And then reverse, grand plie, port de bras forward and up, cloche, cloche, beautiful grand rond de jambe all the way around, plie, leg goes even higher, pas de bourrée face front. 4 counts, développé à la seconde, 1 rond de jambe en l'air single, 1 rond de jambe double, to the place, around, port de bras all the way around, really solid on that front leg, so you can push off the back here, up to tendu, to 5th, piqué sous, and finish. Here we go. Nice, beautiful adagio. Don't worry about the height of the legs. Just have fun. Dance. Dance. Drop that. Left side. Keep it moving. Heels down. Forward. Brush the floor. Deep plie. Élongé. two places that I really want to accentuate that you probably just glossed through. From this allongé, the leg goes higher as you plie, rise up, and resist coming into that nice high sous-sus position. So it shouldn't just plop into pas de bourrée, press into sous-sus and pas de bourrée, and then from this tendu behind, after you just did the port de bras, articulate through, that's a lovely pas de cheval front, and push off the back leg. Really travel forward if you have the space into that piqué sous-sus. Now it's a good adagio because I am out of breath. So very good. Stretch the legs out if you need to, and we'll go on to the next combination. Okay, so our warm-up jump is going to be very simple, very similar to what we've been doing. Start in first position and rise up and up. 3 jumps in first, jump to second, and up and up. 3 jumps in second, jump to first. 5th, right leg in front. 3 changements 2 times. 1 and a 2 and a 3. Arms breathe open to demi-second. 1 and a 2 and a 3. Then 3 échappés, échappé change, échappé change, échappé change. Tendu, close back to first to repeat the whole thing on the left side. From the left side, we'll just close the left foot front for the changements, and then we'll finish in first position. Here we go. Remember, press the floor in those relevés and stretch the feet underneath you in every sauté. Nice. Really make sure you're pushing off of the whole foot and rolling through the whole foot, because it's going to be hard to get a lot of horsepower if you're jumping from this position or landing in this position. Really make sure whole foot every time. Good, that's a warm-up jump. Let's do one little petit allegro, and then that'll be all for today. Okay, so the petit allegro is going to be very simple today. It's going to consist of 3 jeté temps levés, which we all know. Jeté, and then temps levé is just straight up, stretching the feet underneath us, and straight down. 3 times, so jeté, temps levé, jeté, temps levé. Then we're going to take a ballet, which means to toss. So just like you would toss something like a ball or a stick or whatever you got, from this coupé position, your legs are going to come up, like as if you're in a first position grand plie. Up, and then open, and then up to open back. So here it is. Up, land on the left, extend the right. Doesn't need to be super high, it can be low. And then once again from here, the legs come up and back. It's almost like a pas de chat, but you land on one leg. And the arms from here are in first. This arm's in first, this arm is out, and then you open to the side. Then you're going to take pas de bourrée, temps de cuit, changement. Remember, temps de cuit is just a seesaw with a little coupé pickup that changes. Seesaw, from the back to the front, seesaw, and then change. The second part will be nice and slow. Then we'll reverse the whole thing. So jeté, temps levé, jeté, temps levé, jeté, temps levé, ballet, ballet, pas de bourrée, temps de cuisse, changement. Left side. Got it? Here we go. Start with the right leg behind. Front, back. Try to travel up. Up, up. Pas de bourrée, temps de cuit, changement. So yeah, those ballets are pretty quick. If you need more practice with that, just keep thinking. Pas de chat, so both legs are up, that lands on one leg. And you can just keep rolling. Ballet, ballet, ballet. They are quick in the combination. Practice them as much as you need to on your own. I'm completely out of breath. That is a full class for me. I hope it's a full class for you. Let's take a reverence, and then we'll conclude today's class. Nice and easy. Curtsy while I bow. Other side. Feel the piano. Use your head and eyes. Go curtsy, I'll bow. And to those in the balcony, we say thank you. All right, great work. Thank you for participating in this week's YouTube class. I hope that it was worthwhile to you, and perhaps if you were doing it for the first time or redoing it, no matter the case, I hope that you got a good workout from it and that you learned. And really, my heart behind all of these classes is for you to just continue to grow in some way, whether it's mentally, whether it's through terminology, whether it's just through, hey, I did a ballet class and I made it through. So, just continue to stay safe, and we don't know how long it's going to be till we get together again, but until then, we're going to continue to do things virtually. So thank you for being patient and working with me and all the other faculty here, and we'll see you guys next week for our Zoom meeting.